it's Grandmaster here, and this is May Painting Challenge Bootcamp Day 2, and today we're going to talk about why did I choose my project, what was my motivation, and what is going to happen to my models after May Painting Challenge is done. First thing I'm going to address is the first thing on the list. Why did I choose my project? I chose my project because I've been giving my Grey Knights a lot of love. I only have 2 armies, and I've been giving my Grey Knights a lot of love lately. Meaning, painting them, using them on the board, all that kind of stuff. Basically, my Tyranids have been in the shadows for a long time. 6 years to be exact. Yeah. And I am now getting back into them, and I don't know, especially lately, I've been getting really into the hobby a lot. Pretty much all my spare time goes into the hobby, which didn't used to happen. Pretty much I've stopped playing video games, I've stopped watching TV. Anytime I have free time, I'm sitting at this desk, and I just love it. I am not even getting close to burnt out. This has been going on for the past, 5 or 6 months. And so, it's been really good. And I think that is pretty much why I chose my project. Like I said, I don't know if you've seen one of my earlier videos, but Tyranids was my first army, and I absolutely loved them. And I still do, obviously. I love them even more now. And like I said, just getting into the hobby more and more in all aspects of the hobby. I love painting, and I never used to be able to go onto GW or website and look at the models and say, I love this model, I love this model, I love this army, I love this army. I always used to have a pretty select kind of interest in what armies I liked, but now somebody could walk up to me and say, here are these models, paint them up no matter what army they are. I love them. And even Warhammer Fantasy, I'm really starting to get an interest in that. And I haven't started or have never really even dabbled in it. I'm just gaining an interest for the models themselves. And I just love some of the models and the different details on the models, and I'm starting to really get into it. And so another, but not only GW models, and a lot of other models that I've seen. I'm getting kind of off track here though. But going back again to, that's pretty much why I picked this project, is because I want to give my Tyranids some love, and long needed love, and I have been for the past month and a half, I'm going to say, and got a lot done. Still a little bit to get done. Like I said, I have these 18 Termagants right here that need paint on the bases, and I need to go in and I need to paint their claws and hooves and all that. And these guys, I'm not putting a super elaborate paint job or anything like that on them. I'm speed painting these guys. Main reason is because I wanted to get ready for the May Painting Challenge, to get a new box set, and those guys I'm going to take more care and paint each one, hopefully to the best of my abilities, because sometimes I get carried away and I speed up when I really shouldn't. So anyways, moving on to the next question is, I'm spacing here. What's my motivation? And I kind of talked about that within the last question. Wanting to give my Tyranids some love that they need. And another bit of motivation is I love the models. I've gained a newfound interest in the models, because like I said, I've always loved the Tyranid models, but once I saw the Grey Knights, I just poured my entire hobby into them, and my entire hobby experience into the Grey Knights, and I've kind of forgotten about my Tyranids until recently. And recently, it's been like a just overwhelming force wanting me to do these Tyranids and just because I love the sculpts, I love painting them, and I love seeing the finished product when it's all together, especially with my own high fleet, scheme. And because before, here's kind of my original paint scheme. You can see the difference. The skin is like darker. The skin is darker, and there's a purple. You can see Leviathan purple within the, right here, like in the, I don't even know what you would call that, the actual skin parts, because the outside here is really, exoskeleton kind of thing, but this is like the inner skin, like, I don't even know what you would call that, but it's like the Leviathan purple. And then the bright reds in here that I used. And then obviously on the carapace, it was black with green over top. And that's how this is how, I should say all the ones that were painted, because I never really painted all the guys. So that's how they were all painted. But I'm now to this paint scheme you can see right here with the zoanthrope. And this is like the base that I've done isn't too elaborate or anything like that. But what I did is and I'm going to stick with this theme. Obviously the snow with the icy tyranids, and then there's an Imperial Guard like little canteen, and then like a little pouch and a little blade. One of those little things that go on. And I think that's kind of the theme I'm going to stick with. And that's my motivation, is just tackling these Tyranids and getting them done. Well, not just to get them done, to enjoy it as well. Have a good time. That's what I'm all about. I don't play that many games because the store, my local GW store, closed down a few years back, which is horrible. Sucks. The closest one is about an hour and a half away, so I can't really go in there and hang out. And I don't really know those people as much as I knew the ones here, and I don't know. This is a different experience. And then my family members who play, we don't play that often, so that's that part. So it's kind of difficult, but I love the hobby, and this is mostly what I do is paint and sculpt. That's one of my favorite things. Is I'm trying to expand my skills with green stuff, and I'm slowly getting better. I sculpted the little tubes on here just recently. Now it's not like I went individually and did that. I have one of those little roller things that makes little tubes. I forget what website we got them off of. I'll have to go check. I'll have to look. But yeah, that's my motivation for doing it. Kind of went off track, but that's what this is all about. Having a good time talking about it. And now, finally, what's going to happen to my models? They're just going to be my collection. Personal models that I'm doing for myself. So they're not really going any place special. They're obviously, hopefully they're going to get in some games and all that good stuff. And just have a good time with it, Have a good time painting the models, add them to my collection, and I'm really going to spend, I hope that I will be able to get the painting challenge done. I mean, the box that I'm going to be doing has 20 Termagants, 3 Warriors, a Hive Tyrant, and a Termagant, and I have to assemble all that. I might be able to assemble it before and just do the painting aspect in May, because here's why I want to do that. I wasn't going to, but here's why I'm thinking of it, is because I really want to magnetize the heck out of the Hive Tyrant and the Tervagon. Because the Hive Tyrant, I want to be able to get every option. And I mean that. I emphasize that. I want to be able to get every single option. I want to be able to take the Swarm Lord. I want to be able to take a Bone Sword Lash Whip. I want to be able to take Venom Cannon. I want to be able to take Twin Linked Devours. I want to be able to take Wings. I want to be able to take, everything. Every single piece of it. And here's what I'm thinking. Here's how I'm thinking of doing that. What I'm thinking of is I saw this video, and I will definitely put a link to this down below, because if you're a Tyranids player and you want to magnetize a Hive Tyrant, go watch this guy's video. They have the studio, and they're really, really great. So this is the base for my current Hive Tyrant, my metal one. And this isn't a base. This is not a GW base. It's not even a base I bought. I cut this out of a plastic card. And it's the perfect size. It's the 100% perfect size. I cut it out perfectly. And actually, you know what? It is a little tiny bit bigger. But I'm not a competitive play or anything like that. And I don't think I ever will play in competitive tournaments. But it is a little tiny bit bigger, as you can see. I don't mind, and I'm not going to complain. So it doesn't matter to me. But I did this scenic kind of... Obviously, it's not painted. It's just all black right now. But stones, and there's going to be snow and all that. And this is just cork, and I just layered it up. So that's that. But this is the base that he came with. And as you can see, it's worn. It's torn because it's been painted over 3 times, and it's been cracked, and it's just been torn apart. As you can see right here, it's been cracked. I had to put a sprue to glue it. It's cracked 2 different times. So anyway, very old, worn and torn base. And with this one, what I could do is I can glue the legs that come in the Swarm Lord, or that come for the Swarm Lord or the regular Hive Tyrant, walking Hive Tyrant, and I can glue those legs to this. And then the piece that goes into the torso, I can put a big pin in it, or a couple pins, just with what do you call that? Paper clip. Just pin it, and then also put a big fat magnet. I have these magnets, which they're not huge, but they are very strong magnets. I mean, it takes some good effort to pull them apart. For a resin model, it'll be fine, And so I'll glue the torso, I keep on saying glue. Magnetize the torso up, glue the magnets on, magnetize it, and then all the arm options. And with the base that comes with the Hive Tyrant, I'll put the tail that goes like that, and then it comes up, and then it has the 2 legs for the flying Hive Tyrant. So I'll be able to take every option. Now, what the guy did in the other video, he didn't do that on 2 different bases. I can't really explain it. It's hard to explain in words for me. So I'll leave a link below. Check his video out. If you're not already subscribed to him, definitely subscribe because he's really cool. And I think I've covered all the questions. And I bet you're wondering about all these Space Wolves. Yep, that's right, Space Wolves. I don't think I've ever mentioned Space Wolves to anybody on this channel, but yes, Space Wolves. Okay, so these are our friends, Space Wolves, and I'm making them up for him, and I'm gonna paint them up. Not a commission or anything like that. I'm just doing it for him. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Because I don't want it to interfere with what I want to do in April. Terrain, because I haven't got any of that done with the last couple of days, and that's aggravating for me. So I want to get some terrain done, and I want to get these Tyranids done that are on my desk currently, and they've been on my desk for the past couple weeks, and I haven't got anything done. But I love variety, and I love working on Space Wolves because I love them. And as you can see here, this is my own, well, not really mine, but this is a what do you call it? I'm totally spacing. Space Wolf. Wolf Lord. There he is. Wolf Lord. And this is the cape from the Terminator set for the Space Wolves, and I cut the strap off, and I'm going to green stuff a strap in. I'm going to green stuff all in here. 1 second. There we go. I'm going to green stuff on the back of the head. And this is a Thunder Wolf mount head. There's an extra head that came with it. And I like how it turned out on there. And a magnetizing. And the reason why you can tell that looks really like, bleh, doesn't look that good, but that's because it's going to be hidden back there. You're not going to be able to see it, so I'm not really worried about the aesthetics on that part of it, because this wolf little pelt piece will be coming down in front of the arm like this. I haven't glued it in yet for obvious reasons, and then these can come right in and out, and that won't interfere. One thing is they're not going to have shoulder pads because there's just not enough room in there. He's like right on the edge of glory. I'm sorry, but the arm's right on the edge, right there. So it's not going to be able to go in. I've only glued this side. I haven't even put the magnet in here. And as you can see, I drilled some holes, and I was going to pin it because I didn't think these little tiny itsy bitsy magnets would be able to hold the arms, but I was wrong because it holds really well. So let me pull the other arm that I've already magnetized, the shield. There's the storm shield. And it just magnetizes like that. And again, it looks really weird in there, but it won't really matter because this will be, and I'm covering it with my thumb, that will be right in there like that, so that's what you'll see. So yeah. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to magnetize this arm in here like this, like that. And I'm going to use a granite sword, so he can take a standard power weapon. On this arm, he can take a shield or a thunder hammer, so he can take thunder hammer, storm shield, and I'll give him the option to take a storm bolter. And then finally, the other Thunder Claw. Now the body that I used, the body and the legs are from Arjak Rockfist, and I cut out his head, which was a shame because if you haven't seen that model, Arjak Rockfist, it's an amazing sculpt. It is honestly one of my favorite GW sculpts. I love the pose, and I love the detail. Now, this one is when they first came out with Finecast. Pretty old. If you don't know, which most people do, when GW first came out with Finecast and they started doing it, it was disappointing. I hated it. I never wanted a Finecast. I always wanted metal. That's why I'm happy this guy's in metal. That's why I'm happy my Hive Tyrant's in metal. My Librarian's in metal. I don't have many models because I just started about 6-7 years ago in the hobby. But I do have a couple. I started a year or two before they introduced Finecast, and I was so sad that they did because I hated the sculpts. They were horrible. They never were cast right. They had so many bubbles. But now, I got, a couple months ago, this Lord Kaldor Drago, and I was so impressed, and I'm dropping him. I was so impressed with the sculpt is perfect. Now, I mean, there was so much flash, and I was surprised because I was sitting there for hours, not really hours, I was sitting there for a while just going back over and back over the model and finding more and more flash, like sprue pieces. And I was so surprised. I didn't expect that. But I was really happy in the end. At first I was getting aggravated, obviously, because it was annoying. I never stopped finding them. But in the end I was very happy because I think that model had one bubble. One little tiny bubble in it. And it was awesome. I was so happy. I was so happy. So their Finecast is doing a lot